Hi, so I've got a kind of like a mystery vibration I'm trying to sort out on a 2009 RAV4 Sport. It's in the rear. I've got some videos after having it on a lift and running it. While driving it from 20 to 40 miles an hour, the vibration's pretty significant, but outside of that range, um, don't really feel it, but it's definitely there from 20 to 40. It looks like it's something with the differential or the drive line. Any ideas on how to move ahead, I'd really appreciate it, whether it needs like a new differential or um, I guess there's a part in some kind of coupler. Also I read about, I don't know if it's that or that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'd like your opinions. Thanks.
All right, do it. All right, one more time. Good. Take it up to 20 miles an hour. All right, that's good. Thank you.
So figured out the problem of all that vibration. It's this U-joint on the axle. So I can only move it this direction, and that's even kind of stiff. This direction it won't move. I mean, this thing's supposed to pivot in all directions. It won't move at all up and down. This is all I get. So like the needle bearings are completely shot in this joint here. So I've got a new one on the way for like 150 bucks. And that should take care of the vibration. So super excited about that. Finally sorted out what this whole thing was about. All right, thanks. Okay, so this video here is all about big vibrations, rear differential, and the cause for me was U-joint on the drive shaft being frozen. And the first thing that kind of like triggered this whole event was my emergency brakes seizing up after sitting for a couple of weeks and me having to apply a little bit of gas to get the car to move. And then after doing so, all of a sudden I had this vibration from 20 to 40 miles an hour that was pretty significant. And it looks like what occurred was when I applied that gas, or tried to break the emergency brakes free that had like rusted on there, it put enough force through that old drive shaft, which is rusted to heck. This car has 160,000 miles of it on it, Pittsburgh area, so salt zone. It was just enough to have just done in those needle bearings in that U-joint. And so that was the trigger for that event. So like, I guess if you've got a major vibration in the back and you like feel it in your seat, I mean, that's where you could feel it. I could feel it in the seat, and in the sunroof was rattling. Like that kind of vibration in that 20 to 40 mile an hour range, you may have one of your axes of the drive shaft connected to the differential froze up. Really simple fix, just pulling the drive shaft, putting another one in. And the hardest part about removing the drive shaft was getting it freed up from the front. Some penetrating oil for a little while, letting it sit, and then giving it a couple of whacks. Like you can reach in with like a 18-inch, 20-inch long screwdriver or pry bar and give it some knocks right around like through the differential, or by like, not the differential, the transaxle.
there's a pathway to get there. Otherwise it's blocked. You can't get great access to it. So you have to kind of like knock it from the front of the car toward the back. If you watch videos, you'll see other guys do it. That's kind of, and then what I did as the final, I did a couple knocks like that. That didn't free it. I went to the back of the axle and I just yanked on it a couple of times. I just gave it a 1-2 yank, and then all of a sudden it came free that way. I had to go find my washers, but I managed to find all 4 of them, so all good there. But that's it. I'm glad I got this sorted out. I was thinking I was going to need to buy a transaxle or a differential anyway. I thought it was the viscous coupler, but it's not, because this is like really intense at 20 to 40 miles an hour, really bad at 30, like in that center peak. The rest of the time, you don't really notice it, but when the car was up and looking at it, you can see my videos. I mean, it was shaking all speeds, just really violently at like that 20 to 40 zone. What else? So the other thing, I had a heck of a time on eBay. I mean, I was trying to buy a differential for this RAV4, and they've got them for sale for like 350 bucks. I don't understand what's going on with that, but like I placed multiple orders, handfuls of orders, and they all canceled on me. So I don't know if it's a game, like if you don't send them your VIN number to check it or something, like they then are looking to, I don't know. It seemed like a scam, because somehow a scam, but I can't figure out how it lands. If it's like on a restocking fee after you get the part and you realize it's not what you need or something, I don't know. But like, I ordered multiple of them, and like they kept canceling on me and stuff. So, all right, that's it. Another car problem solved by your just mechanical engineer guy here. Talk to you later. One other thing I should add, that when you're troubleshooting this and you get the car up in the air, and you know you're having someone drive it, and then you know you're under it looking for the vibration. It's a great way to troubleshoot this problem, I learned. It's imperative that so because the car is up in the air, it's going to have a tendency to keep the wheels like spinning. And so if you're in drive and like in an idle situation, those wheels are going to continue spinning, which means the engine is spinning, and then you put it into park, that is a bad deal. So just make sure that you bring the speed, you get on the brake and you get the speed all the way down to 0 before you put the transmission back into park. Very important for this process. Easy step to forget, because like that's just not a normal thing. Normally when we're going to drive to park, you know, we're on the ground, and so you're not up in the air with the wheels spinning like this. So just a pro tip, I guess. All right.